No, thanks everybody. Bill Palmer here at Tall Timbers. We're very proud to host this workshop. Thank you, Jennifer, for including us and your thinking on planning this workshop. I do want to thank a couple staff members. Greg Seaman, who obviously is our point person for things like this, and it's a fantastic job educating on fire 365 days a year. And also Kay Gainey, who I think worked with Jennifer a lot to help pull off the logistics of today's event. Really proud of Jim Carl's comments. I know where some of those concepts came from, and it's exciting to hear them being put on the ground in Florida. I mentioned it at the ARC meeting last time, and I'll reiterate it here that Jim Carl is, as Wayne said, the most important person pushing fire in the state of Florida at all levels, and the Florida Forest Service just does a spectacular job. I won't say too many words. We are very fortunate. You are nestled here. One thing Lane did not say is you are in the Red Hills of Florida and Georgia. And when you go home, don't tell people you're at Tall Timbers. Tell them you're in the Red Hills of Florida and Georgia. A very special place, 400,000 acres nestled between the Clopty and the Osceola River is special because prescribed fire is one of the few places in the southeast that's never left the landscape. So we have these abundance of wildlife, quail, threatened species, uneven age management for pine forests, wonderful old-growth long-term forests, just a really, really special place. Two fantastic research stations, and working together to promote fire. And I think there's a couple lessons that we can learn that as Tall Timbers is working with lots of landowners from, I don't know if you saw the news, we released quail in New Jersey this year on the Pine Barrens and got our first nests and broods with Audubon, New Jersey Audubon. It's exciting. A lot of neat things happening, whether it's Florida grasshopper sparrow or bobwhite or summits such as this. A lot of cool stuff going on. But one thing to think about is how fortunate we are that a cultural fire never left this area. And I think as you think about planning on educating on fire and promoting fire, let's not forget what Jim Carl said. Not only the low-hanging fruit of where fire is frequently used and habitats are in good shape, but those low-hanging landowners that still use fire. They're out there in Florida in the ranch lands. They're in Georgia. They're scattered in North Carolina. There's a few left in Virginia, a couple in New Jersey. Those are landowners that are putting fire on the ground, and they haven't lost the culture of fire, and they can be the babies, the people that can really make a big difference. And I think that's critically important. And also targeting those landowners is key. You know, one of the things I'm most proud of at Tall Timbers isn't the number of scientific publications, which our staff does a great job at, but the fact that we've added close to 100,000 acres of frequently burned pine and oak savanna across the southeastern U.S. in the last 10 years because we found landowners that have an interest, and they start thinning their woods and they start prescribing fire on their landscape, and they start restoring them. One of my favorites is Orton Plantation now outside of Wilmington. I was just chatting with somebody from TNC. And the manager there we hired helped get us on that property, came from a culture of fire in this area. And in the Wilmington paper he showed me, he was very proud of a night prescribed fire he got to do in Cruson Bay. And it shows a picture of him standing like this, looking at about a 60-foot flame going through this bay at night. The title of the article is, "Don't Worry, It's Under Control." But you won't find people like that outside of areas that have a culture of fire, that aren't scared to light the match, that know what to do, that grew up with it and had that experience that Kevin McIntyre was pointing out, and absolutely critical. So finding those landscapes, let's keep the low-hanging fruit looking pretty good, and targeting those landowners that for some reason, whether it's quail or biodiversity or whatnot, have a passion for applying fire, and I think we can make a lot of headway in a lot of areas. So with that, I look forward to learning a lot through this workshop and hearing everybody's thoughts. Tall Timbers is heading into a strategic planning effort, a serious one on its fire program this year. And so I hope you'll see some great things come out of that as we energize our fire programs. So I'm looking forward to learning a lot this workshop. So thank you, Jennifer. Off you go.